is Kelly Dale with Off the Beaded Path, and this is your Must Know Monday for Monday, January the 25th. Cannot believe January is almost over. Wow. But to get to our video for this week, one of the questions that I get on a daily basis, online and in store, is what is the difference between a Delica or Japanese seed bead versus a regular seed bead. So today I want to tell you the difference in those beads and then kind of tell you a little bit about seed beads. One thing you need to know, the largest seed bead they make is called a 1/0, or it's also written as a 1-0. Okay, that's the largest. The smallest known seed bead made was a 24/0 or a 24-0. Most any seed bead smaller than a size 15 seed bead, okay, has not been in production since the 1890s. So anything that you find below a size 15 is not a newer type bead, normally is considered an antique because it's not been in production since 1890s. That was a little bit of cool little fact I found while digging up on some seed beads. The seed beads, the smaller the number, the bigger the bead gets. So 15 is going to be your little tiny seed bead. Then that bumps up to a 13, an 11, which is like a normal size seed bead that we use, an 8, a 6, and so forth. Now there are some odd sizes in between those, but normally your most used seed beads are going to be a 15, 11, an 8, and a 6. Those are your normally most used. The difference between a regular seed bead and a Japanese cylinder bead is that a regular seed bead is round. It's got a spherical shape, and in a tube of beads you probably have a little less than maybe a quarter of a tube or less, like I said, that is not a perfect circular bead, okay? The Japanese cylinder beads, they make a couple of different brands. They make the Delica bead, and then Toho has actually two brands. One of the brands, let me find here what I can remember about that one. Toho's brand is called the Toho Treasures. Those used to be known as Antiques. Formerly Antiques is what they are called. So that is their version, the Toho version of that. They also have a newer seed bead that was released in 2005. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. It's either Aiko or Aiko. It's spelled A-I-K-O. And then also, like I said, you do have the Delica bead. The Delicas are kind of the most wide range known. The difference in the Delica and, the Treasures and all of that is they are a perfect shaped cylinder shaped bead. So they're round, but they have more of a cylinder shape rather than a circular shape like a regular seed bead. That's why they're a little bit more expensive when you purchase them, and normally they come in smaller tubes because they have a perfect shape and almost the whole tube is a usable bead for a project. So they're really, really great. When you first get started, you kind of wonder, well, why are these a little bit more expensive? And that's why, because you get a perfect little bead. So they're great to work with. So I hope that this explained to you the difference between a regular seed bead and a Delica or cylinder shaped bead. Now there are lots of different brands of seed beads. The main ones are Miyuki and Toho, but like I said, there's lots of different ones, and you always want to buy the best seed beads that you can afford, because especially if you go to hobby stores or big chain stores, most of the seed beads that they're going to carry are going to be check seed beads, so they're going to be very uneven, and you're not going to get as good of a project result as if you would have, if you would have used like a Miyuki or a Toho or some of the other brands. Always look at your tubes when you purchase them and just kind of make sure. I mean, you can kind of tell from looking at them, and just make sure you're getting kind of a good brand type bead and a good circular or cylinder type bead. So I hope this I hope it was informative, and I hope you learned something, and be sure and come back Thursday for a new project. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.